doing nothing, not going anywhere. It's as if you got the van and went. There's only me and you know why there was sea salt on the floor. It's just very intermittent, it's frustrating. Like that. He says you've got to fold it. Well, hello, welcome back to the channel. Full-time motorhome with Graham. I'm at Clumber Park Caravan Motorhome Club site in Nottingham, and it's absolutely glorious weather. Sun shining, lovely pitch. I'll give you a little view of that now. Everybody's just sitting outside, enjoying the weather, because we all know the weather's been hitty missy the last few weeks, but today is absolutely glorious, and it's in the National Forest, so it's quite secluded. Although it's a big site, it is secluded. So I'll just do a few video shots of the site. You can see here, this is the amenities block. It looks like a little mini restaurant, a bar, but it looks brand new. I know it's been here a few years, but it's got excellent facilities, the usual men's, women's, disabled, all on the flat. Toilets, showers, pan and dishes washing facilities. It's also got a washing machine dryer which takes tokens, which you have to purchase from the reception area, which is just down the bank. And this is a view of the, when I booked it, they only had premium pitches left, which is what I'm on now. So all that means is you get a wider pitch, red markers, and you get a water supply. But it's never been an issue with me, water supplies. You see the other videos, you'll see there's water. Could be 100 yards away, it wouldn't matter, because I just fill up as I need, and you just adapt. There's all sorts of different caravans here. There's caravans, tourers, mini tourers, big tourers, motorhomes like mine. Great awning tents on the side of some of these older vans, and you can see me back end there. The back end of the motorhome. Very mature trees on the side, lush and green, nice gentle breeze. This is the information room. Cabin style. Maps. Local walks, bike rides, things to do. Places to stay, places to eat. Games. leaflets, payphone. Might be useful because there's not much of a signal here. And there's events on for the summer. This is where you pull up when you arrive. There's usually some guys on the duty there, but if not, just go into the reception area and they'll sort you about.
When you're fixing it, pop in an awning and you'll go all on the gravel area. Alright. If you go and have a look, see which one you fancy. Any white square. Yeah, the side gates.
There you go, isn't that pretty? It's always nice to see flowers on the site. Beautiful red colours. Very tall trees. I'm back inside. It was a little too hot for me, so I'm just chilling out, doing nothing, not going anywhere. When I opened the van earlier, I knew something had fallen over. It was a bottle of water. Hadn't cracked open like, but it was flinging all over the place. It was kitchen roll all over, like as if a Dulux, not a Dulux, so what do you call them, a Labrador puppy had been in. It was all over the place. My washing bags are on the floor. It's as if you got the van and went. So just the top tip is just to put everything away as neatly as possible. I've even bought one of these for the floor, because the floor's looking a bit, well, it's getting a bit dirty and I'm sick of just going around with a wipe, so I bought one of these from Morrison's. I think it was a £5. You just put that around the floor and get rid of all the dust. And a message for Auntie Maureen: I'm still finding sea salt on the floor. There's only me and you know why there was sea salt on the floor. By the way, this is Pop. Cheers. Iron brew, sugar free. So I've been on the road now since middle of June, July, August. It has been a full 2 months plus. No surprises. It's things that I use, things that I don't use, things I'm worried about which you don't need to, like filling gas at the petrol station. It's easy. I was worried about running out of gas. Well, what I've done is I've just used one bottle. I've got 2 bottles, and it's hardly used at all. Had the heating on a couple of times this week, but I've had the pan on and done tatties and stuff. Flies. Some sites have got no flies at all. other flies are like. They've got all these midges coming in, crippling you. Seems to be in more Northumberland. I don't know. This is just from my short travels. Got the door open here. There's no flies here. Although there was a green bug. Windscreens get very dirty. They're quite hard to clean. So you need to keep on top of your cleaning. The outside's starting to get dirty. It was spotless when I got it. But again, you need to keep on top of that. Now my view on cleaning is you can use a pressure washer, but I wouldn't use it on the sides because of the seals, in case you get any water into any seals that are potentially cracked. But the front cab is a standard front cab. It's just the back end has been modified. Obviously there's modifications inside, but the exterior and the overhang is separate as well, but the exterior is just the front end of an engine really, so you could use the washer in the car wash. The lights, I find there aren't enough lights in this van, and it's nothing to do with anything other than the manufacturers put these tiny little spotlights in, and they're cheap as well. I think they were £9.99 for 5. The other thing I don't like is, and the previous owner mentioned it, is the radio. It's a DAB digital radio, but the signal's crap, and some of the stations I want to get I can't get. So I've ended up with TalkSport 2, and it tends to be repeated programs from the night before. BBC World Service, which is okay, and you do get Radio 5 Live, but I would have liked TalkSport and possibly one other 2 stations. There are, don't get me wrong, there are stations on there, but driving down, even down the A1, it's just very intermittent. It's frustrating, so I don't like that, so I may well change that, but it's not a top priority. It gets very hot in here, so what I do is I just shut those blinds. I've got them open now as it happens, but I've got those blinds to pull across. In the bedroom one as well, at night time I pull that over, and for the simple reason, in the summertime it gets sunny about 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning, and it makes you want to get up. Well, I'm not a early morning person, so I shut that blind to keep it a little bit more dark and cooler as well. Apart from that, everything's fine. There's not a thing wrong with the van. It's just past its MOT. So I dropped it off at 8:15 one morning to a friend of mine, and I had it back at 9 o'clock. So happy days. 12 months MOT, no advisories. I would recommend, and also if you have got a motorhome, if you buy one and it hasn't got these on, to get some proper motorhome tyres. I know it sounds silly, but I've heard of people putting ordinary van tyres on motorhomes. I've got Michelin motorhome tyres, MH, I think that, and I've got a code. Motorhome Matt, who's a podcaster, and I've met him at Harrogate's show, and he did a talk. On his podcast, he mentions 3 brands. The one that I've got is the one that he recommends, because you don't get a spare with these vans, you know, so it's important that the ones you've got work and that they've got a decent tread on them, and they're not expensive. I think they're only 4 of them is about, I know I'm saying only 4 of them is about £500, but they're all good on the ones that are on here now. So don't skimp on tyres. It's funny, some sites the neighbours don't talk very much, and other ones, if I pass them and they're sitting outside, I'll have a quick chat with them, and they're usually spot on. I think when somebody new pulls up and they've been there 3 or 4 days, and you're pulling up next to them, it's like, oh, who's moving in next door? I mean, they can see the motorhome, they can see me moving about and that, but there's always that wonder and curiosity as to whether they're going to cause any bother, whether they're going to be playing music all night long and stuff like that. But once you get told them, they're fine. I've had some great conversations, and older people are, which I've always been around older people. A great crack, they've got some funny stories, and they're just enjoying their life. There was one guy yesterday at where I think where it was, Ripon Racecourse, and I went out about 8 o'clock last night to put some rubbish out because we had to be off early because the racing was on and they took everybody off quite early. So I was putting my rubbish out, trying to get things done last night. And he says, how you doing? Oh, alright, son. Well, he was from Yorkshire, you know. I'm putting it on the Geordie accent. Are you alright, son? He says, hey, I've had the best fish and chips in the whole world. And he says, you just go along there, you turn left, turn right. Not the ones on the high street, just turn left, turn right. He says, a fish like that. He says, you've got to fold it to get it in the box. I says, well, you're well fed. I says, you're not want any breakfast in the morning. I says, and you have to be up early. He'd had a few beers, like. And he says, I tell you what, he says, I'll be up crack of dawn in the morning. He says, you come over, I'll do your breakfast on the barbecue. He says, you can have black pudding, bacon, eggs, sausage, beans, whatever, tomatoes. You can have it. I says, all right, yeah. He says, all outside, we'll do it all outside. I says, right, I'll hold you to that. So I went out at 9 o'clock this morning. He's come back from the loos. I says, you all right? He said, oh, aye, I'm fine, aye. I says, what happened to the breakfast? Oh, he says, I couldn't face it this morning. I says, it's a good job I wasn't starving. I says, you promised me all sorts last night. Oh, he says, I had the best fish and chips in the world. He says, you go right and go left. He says, the fish is like that. You've got to fold it over. I says, you told us all that last night. And he says, all right, we'll have a safe journey. And funny people on there. They'll say it out when they're drunk. They'll promise anything when they're drunk. Well, it looks like there's a few more people turning up late afternoon and the sun's still blaring out. So, okay, so that was me just rambling on. As I say, I'm going to chill out for a few days. Day and a half, in fact. And then I'm off to RAF Coningsby. Staying at a farm site it's got a gantry in the garden area, and you can stand on there and take photographs of the Eurofighters, Typhoons. It should be pretty spectacular because you're only 200 yards away from them. There is another car park at the other end which you can go to, and you can get your motorhome in, but you've got to be in really early and you've got to park on the back fence because you'll be blocking people's views and they'll not be happy. So that's RAF Coningsby, and it's on my bucket list actually. It's one thing I want to do, and I'm going to do it in the next few days. So we'll see you again. Please do not forget to like if you enjoyed this, and subscribe if you want to see more me talking rubbish. I'm going around different campsites. I'm going to try and go off grid soon because it is quite expensive to be on these sites. I'm not going to pretend otherwise. It is kicking into the bank balance a bit, but I'm just enjoying that first few months and then we're going to wing it and try and get the cost down. But I'll make another video about the first few months, money wise, and how that's worked out, and try and give you a little bit of understanding. Anyway, I'll probably cut this off by now because I'm rambling on.